Hello, my tubies, my Teletubbies. It's Sheila True Love, truly loving you always. And today, I'm trying to adjust this camera. Just bear with me, my darlings. Today, we are going to talk about being more optimistic, the difference between optimistic people and the difference between pessimistic people. Now, this video is about how to be optimistic most of the time. Did you know that optimism is the number one quality associated with happiness? And I'm not talking about being fake or pretending that you don't have problems or that everything is great when it's not. I'm talking about how to be optimistic and happy even when bad or challenging things happen to you. What I mean also when I'm talking about optimistic, I mean basically feeling hopeful about your future. It's when you're looking forward to your future, knowing that your future can and it will be better than it is today. When it comes to pessimists, they feel fearful and negative about their future. They feel depressed or miserable when they think about it most of the time. They are the exact opposite of the optimist. Optimists know that life can be good and it's going to get better. When you think about life, think about the alternative. Okay, if we're not alive, then we're what? Okay, then. My challenge for you is going to be I want you to every day take the time to write down three things that you did really well for this day, or even one thing. What did I do really good for today? Also, take the time to write down some of the things that you are grateful for that so many people take for granted, like a roof over our head. We have to think about things that we love about life and things that we love about ourselves. What we concentrate and focus on is what we will get more of. The more you focus on positive things, the more positive things will happen. So stretch your brain to find positive things that you really like and that you enjoy, and then I want you to focus on that. Normally in the morning, I write down three things that I'm grateful for before I go to bed. It's either the morning or before I go to bed. Okay? So I want you to, what went well for you today? I want you to think about that too. Now, we all experience challenges and some of the same events in life. We all go through it, but the way we choose to look at it is what makes the difference. Optimistic people achieve so much more and they reach their goals faster. Normally, they do this because they believe that whatever they decide to do is going to turn out successful. They get past obstacles more quickly because they have what? You guessed it, they have a positive attitude. Optimistic people are usually more happier, joyful, and cheerful, and it's a pleasure to be around those type of people. Don't you agree? Optimistic people, they tend to learn something from every tragedy that they experience or every tragedy that they had to face. Now, I'm not saying that they sugarcoat life. They just realize that this is only temporary and it's not permanent. Whereas the pessimists, they go around, woe is me. Oh, life sucks. Life just sucks. No matter what we face or no matter what we've been through in life, there is always a lesson we can learn from it. I always ask myself, what is God and Jesus Christ trying to teach me from this experience? Or what positive can I take from this? What positive is going to come out of this experience? I think about the Apostle Paul when he was repeatedly put in jail. He could have had a pessimistic attitude, but instead he kept thinking about all the people he was going to help upon his getting released. He knew his imprisonment was only temporary because he knew God had so much more work for him to do. I'm sure he taught other people also how he had made it through and how he was able to get through those horrible situations he found himself in. Eventually, Paul did die. He did die, but it's believed, no one really knows for sure how, he died. How he died is really unknown, but it's believed that he was beheaded in Rome and he died as a martyr for his faith. Now, I'm sure even with that happening to Paul, Paul still was very optimistic because he knew what God and Christ had in store for him. He knew that death is only temporary. When you and I are following Jesus Christ's teachings, he knew that it was only temporary. He kept that positive hope for his future. Optimistic people also have a lot less anxiety because anxiety arises when you think about the future negatively. If you have a hopeful and a positive view, knowing that the future is going to be better, think about it's going to be, it may be going, you may be going through something today, but you have to keep that positive attitude knowing that things are going to be better tomorrow. And you have to repeat to yourself and constantly tell yourself, better yet, remind yourself that this too shall pass. Okay? When you have that type of attitude, it's very hard to be anxious because you have to be thinking negative in the first place for you to be anxious about your future. So if you're not thinking negatively, then it's going to be hard for you to have to keep battling depression, worry, anxiety, and stress. No matter what we go through in life, there is always something we can learn. Now, it's okay to mourn or grieve or even to be sad, but we've got to realize that we've got to learn lessons from the tragedies that we experience. So as long as you learn something from your suffering, it wasn't useless. Another key to being more optimistic is to learn to forgive and let go. When something happens that make you feel pessimistic or negative, you have to know that you can change your perspective and look at the situation in a different way. When you don't forgive other people, it's hard for you to move on in your life. So try to think about 3 or 4 things that make you feel excited about life. Think about things that you're looking forward to. It could be the holidays, promotions at your job, going on a vacation, getting rid of some of your debts, starting a new business or a new YouTube channel. How about losing weight? That always excites me. Or some of the projects you're working on. When you journal these things, you'll see how you'll feel more motivated and you'll see that you'll start to feel differently. Now, if you find it hard to be optimistic, you should pray. Pray to your Heavenly Father for optimism. When you pray, you have to work in harmony with your prayers. Please keep that in mind. So try to focus on the good in every day. This is why I keep a gratitude journal myself. I do. Every night or every day, I write down the good things that happened to me. You know, I was going to take time to read some of the things from my journal, but I don't want this video to be that long. Now, keep in mind also, when you are grateful for things, it's hard to be negative. It's hard to stay negative. There are so many good things that happen to us every day that we take for granted. You know, I think about food, my health. I see people in wheelchairs. I could walk. I mean, think about all the things that we have that we take for granted each and every day. When you're an optimist, you may see some setbacks or have some setbacks because these things happen to us. But you see these setbacks for what they are. You see them for what they are, which is temporary. We can't control everything that happens to us, but what we can control is how we react to it. Now, I assure you, my darlings, the earlier you learn this, I promise you, the happier you will be in life. I think about my roommate. Well, she's married now, but this was the most positive female I've ever met in my life. And one of the things she did was she stayed away from a lot of negative things. You know what I'm saying? She didn't focus on negativity. Now, she don't mind if a person feels a little down for about, 4 or 5 hours. But after that, if you don't pull yourself up out of it, she's outie. She was like, deuces, gots to go. So keep in mind that what you're going through, it's not something permanent. This is something that is temporary. And remember, this too shall pass. And the sooner you learn this, like I said, the happier you will be. Now, if my daughter is listening, I want her to please know that her brother and I love her very, very much. And I pray for her morning, noon, and night. Nothing on Jehovah and Jesus' green earth can ever stop me from loving and wishing the very best for my daughter. And I want her to know that. If you ever need anything, she knows. You know how to get in contact with me, and you know how to get in contact and in touch with your brother. We both miss you so much, and we love you. Words haven't been invented to express. Now, I tell you what I am, darling. I am very optimistic that we will come together again. This is Sheila True Love, truly loving you with everything that I have. Until next time, bye for now.